God damn, Piastri's performance was so bad, it made me come up in spots. So this is the good, the bad, and the mid of the Azerbaijan Baku Grand Prix. First up, the bad. Now, Pirelli have to be up there for me. Why can the medium tyres do 3/4 of the race? If everybody is doing a one-stop and there's zero strategy with zero safety cars, they're doing something wrong. To me, a one-stop should be like exceptional. I remember the days of like Sergio Perez back in the day, being the tyre whisperer and making a one-stop work where no one else could, and it was incredible. Brilliant. One-stop should be possible, but it should be hard. Why the hell are we just defaulting to one-stop these days and everyone just does it and the soft tyre is just not usable? It's just bad. It's just bad. That's why it's in the bad section. Zero strategy. Pirelli need to bring tyres that actually wear, that you can't do more than half the race on the mediums, and the hards can only do just over half. Two-stop should be every single race, and any race where we have a one-stop should be deemed as like really bad, and we should be doing something about it. The FIA should be, or FOM, whatever, should be going to Pirelli and being like, why do we have one-stop? What are you doing? Also, why was it one-stop the last several years in a row? What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, have a word. Just makes boring racing. Next up under the bad is obviously Oscar Piastri. I mean, what? I'm a Piastri fan. What is bro doing? What is bro doing? Does he not want to win this championship? Seriously. I mean, look, everyone has a bad weekend from time to time. I get it. But how bad do you want your weekend to be, please? He almost fully binned it in practice, but just about survived. He did fully bin it in quali. He then jumped at the start, went into anti-stall, and then binned it fully half a lap later. One of those, you'd go, all right, yeah, bad weekend, fair enough. All of them, are you all right, Oscar? I'd understand maybe if it was like the end of the season, the pressure's on, but it's not. You're chilling. Just go out and just match Norris. That's all you got to do. Easy. Unbelievably bad. As a Piastri fan, it was so painful to watch. Oh my God. But look, I'm hoping he's got the bad weekend out of the way, and now he's just going to be back to being rock solid from here on out, because that was unbelievably bad. The final bad thing is just Alpine. I mean, more specifically, Alpine's board. Their board of directors. Because there's no one else left to blame for how bad that team is. They've had so many different team bosses, and I'm sure all the staff and stuff have changed loads as well. They've changed names many times over the years. They've always just been a bad team. A bad team. Considering they're not one of the smallest teams, they're not one of the least well-budgeted teams. They're owned by Renault, for God's sake. Like, there's no way in hell that they should be basically the slowest car. Now, we can, I guess, hold some sort of hope that it's because they've gone all in for next year and they gave up on this year's car before production really began, and they're just going all in for next year. So if they're up there next year, I will eat my words happily. But let's be honest, from what we've seen over the last 5, 10, 20 years, no, not 20. All right, Renault won some championships 20 years ago, but certainly the last 5 or 10 years, they're just nowhere. The ball keeps going, oh, I've got a new idea. Let's get rid of the team boss. 10 minutes there, oh, I've got another idea. Let's get rid of this team boss. That's all they do. It's got to be the Alpine board, isn't it? That's literally the only people left to blame in that team of why it's so bad. It boggles my mind. It really does. But anyway, on to the mid. Now, there's not much to say about these ones because they're mid. Ferrari, I mean, Hamilton said he's hoping to fight for pole and was hoping for a podium, 8th and 9th. Again, just like Alpine, I hope that they're concentrating on next year because they're no longer second in the constructors anymore. Very mid. Lando Norris, I mean, the most mid weekend. And it's only mid because Oscar was worse. If Oscar did usual Oscar things and was at least on the podium, if not winning the race, Lando's would be a horrendous weekend. Another massive bottle for Lando. He's just lucky that Oscar somehow managed to bottle even harder. So mid from Lando. Just did nothing all weekend. And then just the race in general. I mean, it wasn't a bad race, but it was just so mid, wasn't it? Like, most of the race was quite boring. You couldn't really overtake. There was no strategy. There was no safety cars. There was no variety. There was no weather changes. We had a mixed up grid, for God's sake, and it was still just just mid. Like, it was just mid. I mean, you know it's mid when Lando Norris, who's got 6 times the points of Lawson and Tsunoda combined, and wasn't able to overtake either one of them. Like, goddamn. Such a mid-race. But anyway, on to the good. Gets better. It gets better. Now, despite what I just said about the mid-race, the Baku track. I like it. I like it. We had the most red flags we've ever had in quali. 6. Loads of people crashing out. We had a properly mixed up grid. If Pirelli bought some tyres that were actually suitable to go racing with in Formula 1 these days, because realistically, the reason we have hour-and-a-half long race in F1 is so we can get some strategy. Pirelli. Sorry, I'm moving on from the bad. But I like Baku a lot. The walls are close. You get championship leaders making mistakes and DNFing. You get mixed up grids. Look how close the field was as well. It was just... I like Baku. I think it's a good track, despite the mid-race, despite the bad tyres. There, I said it. And obviously, in the good, you've just got to put Carlos Sainz in there, haven't you, after that? I mean, podium? That was unbelievable. I mean, the quali one was impressive. Almost got pole even, but the quali one was impressive till Max did Max things. But I think everyone was kind of, probably assuming they might end up, maybe 5th would still be a decent result. To still hold on to P3 was absolutely insane. Literally only got beaten by one guy, other than Max, obviously, who started ahead of him anyway. He got overtaken by one guy, which was George Russell. That was it. That's unbelievable. And that is literally why they hired him, clearly, because that's what he should have been doing more consistently this season. Although he's still got I think it's 40 points less than Alex Albon, despite having just scored 15. Yeah. Not the best season overall for Sainz, but that's more like it. That's more like it. More please. More. And then finally on the good, the closer pack. I mean, I honestly was a bit shocked that Max Verstappen wasn't romping away from Carlos Sainz, that we didn't see the big boys, the Ferraris, the Mercedeses, and the McLarens, just stomping through the field. We saw them stuck behind the likes of Liam Lawson. It was just much, much closer. I don't really know why this is. I think it must be a combination of tyres that don't really wear. It's a sort of weird track with low speed. And I think the temperatures must be making a bigger difference than we realise. I mean, one of McLaren's big advantages this season is that they can keep, in particular, rear tyres in check. They can keep them under temperature. So on tracks where it's really limited and or it's hot, McLaren have got a huge advantage. But maybe that applies to the whole field. Maybe Red Bull and Mercedes and Ferrari, yes, okay, they've got a bit more downforce than V-Carbs and Williams, but maybe actually one of their big advantages is that they can manage the tyres better, they manage the temperatures better. Maybe that is the big differentiator we see between teams these days. And we have got a close grid anyway. So maybe that's the big differentiator these days. It's not downforce. I don't know. Because obviously we had cold weather in Baku and it just seemed to level the field massively. I could not believe that Lando Norris couldn't overtake anybody. And okay, I know Tsunoda's not the best, but he is in a Red Bull. He should be doing better. He should be able to overtake Lawson at some point. I mean, overtaking was hard, but not impossible. So yeah, no one could overtake because it was just seemed to be a really genuinely close back. I mean, Sainz was only, I think it was 20 seconds back from Max at the line with no safety cars. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Really close field. So yeah, anyway, there's my race review for Baku. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Let me know if you have got any additional good, bad, and mids to add. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because we're doing race reviews for all the races going forward, and I'll catch you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.